So we're going to now assemble the Binoscope from all the parts that should arrive in a few days to your house. So let's get started. You take the lower left angle piece and the right lower. It's actually labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to see that very soon there's going to be other pieces that match the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take those. Now you take the bottom front. So this is the front bottom. And you turn it like that. And you just insert the screw like this. Like that. That. And now we're going to take the back piece, which the back plate, and this one has just a one single white line at the top here, and that's going to go into the third hole along. So count from the back, 1, 2, the third hole. Just like them, don't do them up too tightly for now. Just make sure that they're fully in, and just a slight tightening. Now we're going to take the middle pieces. This is front left, so it's the left piece, and it's going to go right here. Again, make sure it's on the third hole, same one as the bottom piece. And just goes in like that. What's going to be important at the end is the Binoscope is only as accurate as this frame is exactly sort of as square, as rectangular as it could possibly be. We're going to adjust that at the end. You'll see what I mean. So now you take the other side piece, which is labeled front right, lay that in there. And here. Again, the third hole along. We're going to adjust that later. These holes are so you can get the primary exactly the right spacing from the eyepiece. So the two eyepieces will be level and in focus, but we'll come to that during the calibration period. Okay, so that's the bottom frame. Now we take the front top piece, put the label to the front, and that just goes in here. Okay, here. And now the rear piece. This goes back to, this is the rear upper plate, and it's the one with two lines on the top, and that goes in the furthest hole at the back. So let's look at the back. Just like that. Now you take the top left aluminum angle, and that just goes in the top like that. take the top right, and that just goes in like that. And now you can see it coming together, the upper and lower frames. Now you can put the, this is the lower eyepiece holder. You can see the holder here for the red dot finder. So you take that piece like that, and that's just going to go at the front here. Again, you're going to glue these together at the very end when you're satisfied that everything is in the correct location. And for now though, I'm just putting it together to show how it all goes together. You put a couple of screws in here. Here. And now we can put the lower secondary holder. This goes to the front. You've got the 3/4 here, which will go with this 3/4, and it goes underneath the frame. You can see how it goes on the bottom of the frame, and you put a couple of screws in there, like this. Okay. And like that. So now we can put the upper secondary. This is this piece here. And there are two places. One was for my IPD to test it, and this is for your IPD, 67 millimeters. So that just goes in like that. Later on you can make this a sliding fit with locking screws. It's this is just to get it going for the first testing. And you can see it coming together pretty well. And like that. And now you can pop in the lower secondary. I have sort of marked it. Later on you can adjust this as you wish, but it pushes in here between the two green tapes, and that's how that goes in like that. Now, you can see it slides to and fro. Later on we're going to make sure this is extremely accurately right angle. So now we can start mounting the carriage in the middle for the altitude bearings. This is obviously the handle. It goes in like here. Good. Like this. Just for now we're snugging up everything. Later on you can adjust everything to get it exactly in the right positions. These should also be glued and screwed later to make sure nothing can move to and fro when you complete the project. So you have the lower plate, this is the bottom, and it just goes underneath the frame like this. And you have bolts coming up through the bottom into that location there. You put all 4 screws in with nuts. Try to speed up a bit here. So that's like that. And now you put the side pieces on. This is the top left side panel. That just goes in like that. It attaches with 4 screws. I might just put in a couple to make sure it doesn't take too long to put together here for this video. This is the top right. See, this goes together with 4 screws. Again, these should be glued in eventually when everything is in the right location, everything works. Because there's no going back. Once you glue it with the 2-part epoxy, it's finished. That's that. And one more screw in here. Like that. All 4 screws should be put in and tightened up. So that's the main structure, and now we just have the side bearing. As you can see, this is the left side bearing, and the hole is marked on the side with a little arrow. That's pretty close to the center of gravity, but it can certainly be adjusted later as you wish. So there's a line on the altitude bearing here, which I mean, can't see it now, but that is the vertical line. You tighten the nut up at the back, and here is the right bearing. So here's the line showing the vertical location. It goes in that hole there, and goes a nut. These you can put double-sided tape if you want them to be a bit firmer. Very simple. It does work. This double-sided Scotch tape, I put that on the inside of the bearing, and it just held it really tight against the panels if you don't want to glue it. And there we have it. We'll put the mirrors in a minute, but then you can see the frame totally put together with the pieces you're going to receive. These go on the eyepieces, and they're going to go in here like that, and you push those onto the eyepiece barrels. Oh, and the last piece is a baffle that goes on the middle section here, the front, and you can later on glue that there. And it just stops some scattered light getting around. And there we are.